is only war.
Report for you today. We are doing Custodes versus Grey Knights. We are practicing for Nova. This is prior to actually coming back from Nova. I just got back on Sunday night. Today is now Tuesday after the holiday. So we're going to do a quick battle report for you guys before Thursday comes up with the updates. So I'm sure both these lists are literally going to change. Hopefully Custodes go up 1,000 points and hopefully Grey Knights go down 1,000 points. But this is going to help out for future videos because when you guys see the tactics and play style, it's not really going to change. Custodes, you're still going to be able to camp on objectives, be super tanky, kill whatever the hell you want in combat. You just might have less units to do so. In Grey Knights, you're going to have to teleport all around, do your secondaries, and focus down smaller units that you know you can actually kill in combat. So that's going to be the whole goal of this video. Is we took pictures because it was Monday night gaming at Alternate Universes in Bluebell, so it's pretty loud. Monday nights we usually have 10 to 15 people in that basement playing some board games, but with this video, we took a lot of pictures and we're going to go over step by step on the tactics, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing, and also the end results of the game. So for all my Patreons, you guys are fucking awesome. Wouldn't be doing this without you. A lot of you guys came up to me at Nova, so super fun to talk to you guys. And anybody who came up and said, yo, I like your channel, just makes me feel cool because I do this stuff for you guys. So if you guys are Patreons, if you guys are new, there's $1 Patreon, which all these videos go out first. On patreon.com. If you guys are $5, you just want to support the channel even more. If you guys are $10, you want to get in the competitive scene, you get to message me one-on-one, any questions, tactics, list ideas, stuff like that. And if you guys are Grandmasters, you get to watch me play lists or armies and tactics you want to see me play live on a battle report or on TTS. So those are the different perks for Patreon. And we are selling a ton of stuff still. When it comes to all of the stickers, we have all of these stickers available, $3 each. We have dice still for green and silver. There's not a lot left, so if you guys want those, you got to get on it as soon as possible. And then we have the Custodes and Codiez 3D print models. They look exactly like the original models. They are proxies, but if you ask your TO, they will be able to be used in a tournament setting. A lot of the guys had them at Nova, which is a Games Workshop event, kinda. Games Workshop rules, everything is basically Games Workshop, so no issues there. So yes, we are selling those on Discord, so if you guys are interested, let me know. But let's get into the video. Again, we take all these pictures for you guys. Let's go to the list first, and then we'll go over everything about the pictures for the battle report. So. All right, today with the Grey Boys, we got Caldor Drago leading it off. We got Crow. We also have a brother captain for the second time ever. He's got Sigil and Psy Cannon. Then we have the Cald Assassin, unit of his action squad, unit of strike squad, 10-man purifier squad of 4 flamers, 5 interceptors. I think one of them has a Psy Cannon. I gotta model that somehow. 5 Terminators with Apothecary Banner and Psy Cannon. Then we got 10 Paladins with 5 Psy Cannons and the Banner as well. So, oh, and we're testing out a Knight. So I have 145 points left over, give or take. So we're testing out a Knight for 40 or 45 points. Or we're going to go with another unit of strikes. This is a test before Nova to see if we're going to use 2 units of strikes or 1 unit of Knight walking on and a unit of strikes. This is our new little dice tray that we got. It comes with a bunch of shit, so this is really cool. Got to use it yesterday. It worked out really well. All right, Jack, what do we got?
We have
Cypher.
Cypher does not belong. Custodes with Imperial Agents. We have a Blade Champion.
So good.
A squad of 6 Wardens. A squad of 5 Custodial Guard with 1 Spear, 4 Shield on board. We have 9 Custodes with Vexilla and Spears. 3 squads of 2 Terminators with Spears, and we have a Shield Captain with a Spear. A squad of 5 Witch Seekers. 2 Exaction squads. One with Stubber and Grenade Launcher, other with Weber and Maul. And that's if he goes with availability of models. Trajan and the Assassin. Shield Captain has Ceaseless Hunter, and he has Veiled Blade. So +2 attacks. Once per game he can triple his OC. Once per game he can move away if you get within 9 inches, but he can also fall back and charge and shoot.
Sick. Okay, so those were the lists. We wanted to try out the Knight, see if it was worth bringing. After running it, I think you want more units that could do Grey Knight strategies and just be part Grey Knight. The Knight is not going to bring as many points as you think you want it to, but let's see what it does in this mission. So this is a deployment. We use the 3 objectives in the center and then 2 on the outskirts. This is just a standard hold 2, hold more, or hold 2 up to 15, so 5, 10, 15. I believe it's called Purge the Foe. So we have this. Okay, so this is the deployment. We have our strikes up front for the scout move. We have our paladins and our interceptors right here. We have our purifier squads up here. We have the deployment, which is all the way in the corner down to 30 inches, so it's just diagonal deployment. Same with him. 3 in the center and then 2 on the sides. This is his deployment. He's got some sisters over here, which have a 3 up. Field of pain against Grey Knights, which is insane. We got the 2 custodial Terminators, 3 Terminators over here, 2 Terminators there, and then the shield dudes with the little exaction squad up front, and the Custodes all the way in the back here. So the thing with the Custodes is you always want to be protective of it, especially if you both are playing the Custodes and you both can have deep strikes, which we both do. So you got to be careful with the Custodes, because if you lose her without using the Vect, she is a very important unit, especially with Grey Knights, because she does so many secondaries. She gets you a lot of secondaries. She can kill characters. She's surprisingly good at just picking off the last wounds of a character. So always got to keep her protected. So this is the final table. This is AU terrain setup. So we have ruins everywhere, forests, which are just -1, or I'm sorry, +1 to save if you're shooting through it or in it. Same at the bottom here. So forest, 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 forest. We are going to be changing this up because Games Workshop layout is pretty cool. We've been playing on it all weekend. So, but we do like plunging fire. So these down here will get plunging fire if you get all the way at the top, because if you're over 6 inches, you get -1 or +1 to your AP for the weapons, which we forgot about. So I had first, I get cleanse and investigate signals. So being in 9 inches of the corners, this is usually a pretty good one for Grey Knights if you don't go first. And cleanse is also a pretty good one for Grey Knights if you don't go first. Cleanse is a little bit more difficult though than investigate signals, because I mean, they're both actions. So you're going to give up your shooting or charge or whatever to do both. But later in the game, you have more units to do investigate signals, to just walk on the table edge or deep strike in the corners and do it. Usually you get between 4 to 6 easily for Grey Knights for this, but we didn't really plan for this. This is kind of a whole setup video that I'm going to be doing for Grey Knights on. You want to be preparing to have the worst secondaries on your first pick. So your deployment should be prepared for those types of secondaries. So what do? We spread out to the front and we made this back one sticky, and then we walked up and we did cleanse on the center. We basically auto advance 6 on all of our guys. So our guys auto advance 6 to the center. These guys auto advance 18 over here behind the cover. Now we're not too fearful of Custodes shooting. It's all AP1. So if you have a cover, you're gonna have a 2-up save. So it's not crazy shooting. And then the purifiers over here just ran up to the edge of this wall to get on the center objective, or that objective to cleanse. So basically you walk up, cleanse, advance, and then everybody else kind of like spreads out. So nothing crazy. I think the assassin did the thing back here for the deploy, or the homers, investigate signal in the corner here. So she's really good at that as well. So I think I should have had the interceptors up here. So 2 units up top, 2 units down below. So that way the interceptors can hop out 12 inches and do investigate, and then they can walk up and do cleanse. Then I would have got an extra 2 points if these interceptors were at the top compared to them being at the bottom. So that was my turn 1. His turn 1, he got Bring It Down, which is great for Grey Knights. And then Storm Hostile Objective, which you can't get turn 1, so he replaced it with Tempting Target. You basically, at the end of your turn, control a selected objective marker that I picked. So I picked the top one up here, where his guys were coming into Deep Strike. So he picked up his Terminators turn 1. It's kind of the same as Teleport Assault. He picks up his Terminators, and on his turn, he can teleport them down, even turn 1, which is cool. So he comes down, and he's just hoping for a 9-inch charge. So everything else is kind of outside 9 inches. These guys spread out on their home field objective. And, of course, he makes a 9-inch charge. So turn 1, his 3 fucking Terminators with the captain charges into my Purifiers. They all have spears now compared to last time we played, because spears are AP2 compared to AP1 on the swords. This is what's left over of the charge. I kept the flames because flames are really good into Custodes. The AP1 ignore cover gets them to a 3-up save compared to the bolters and stuff like that. So I wanted to keep the flamers and use them kind of just teleport around the rest of the game. And with less than half strength, they're going to get +1 to wound. So they're wounding big guys, the toughness 7 guys on 4s, and then the toughness 6 guys on 3s, which is huge because we don't have a lot of killing power. So this is what we have left over. We then move up and we actually take out 2 fucking Custodes. Now Jack rolled really, really bad. So Jack only has 1 captain left. We killed the other 2 Custodes, and he wasn't able to take that objective from us on his first turn. So that was just a tough moment for that. I think we spent 1 CP for -1 AP, so we needed to wound on or save on 3s compared to 4s. So I get assassinated. Luckily, he has his top guy still on the objective and bring it down, which, again, he doesn't have any tanks as well. So we have to try and kill this guy, which we fall back with our dudes over here. The strikes move up out here. The paladins get up top here to try and shoot down and finish off this guy over here. These guys rapid ingress in the center. So rapid ingressing Custodes is fucking super scary. But we brought the strikes up to try and get the charge off if he lives. And then these guys hopped up to try and get plunging fire to shoot down on that guy to try and kill him with AP2. So that was the goal here. We had our interceptors hop out over here so that way they can shoot and then potentially move 6 inches to try and get closer or farther away. And then the knight came in from reserves to steal this bottom objective within 6 inches of the board edge. And then we shot a couple guys over here, which he made his 4-up saves. So 3 meltas in the face and makes his saves. Our turn 2, our Drago comes down in the backfield to try and take over a flank. He doesn't have any demons, so Drago's whole goal is just to go after demons. Since he doesn't have any demons, I have to basically take over his backfield. So we have an assassin over here, which we just basically put everything within 12 inches of the assassin, outside 9, and then we're within 9 inches over here. So we can either charge the assassin or we can charge these guys over here. Now, with the assassin, I think he might have vected the AP1 strat that we have, but the best one to vect for Grey Knights is the Mist. But if you know that we're going to come down and kill your assassin, you have no choice but to vect something. So we shoot and kill the assassin, and then we shoot and just do kind of pling damage to these last 2 guys over there. So then we make our charge over here. That was something. It's a lot of dice. New tray. I really loved it. But over here we make our charge with these guys down here. So 6-inch charge of Drago. I think Drago hopefully can kill these 2 custodial Terminators. And 2 chicks got picked up by random bolter shots from the purgation, the jump infantry guys over there. So he still has exaction squads on his back, 2 Terminators on his back objective, and then once we kill these 2 guys, we consolidate into the sisters. Now, yes, they do have a 3-up Feel No Pain, but if I put enough damage into them, 2 damage, eventually he's going to fail a couple of them. So we put all of our guys behind the wall over here, so that way they can't be shot. And his turn 2, he keeps tempting target, so he's still trying to get after my top objective and engage all fronts. So really good for Custodes. He can get engaged all fronts pretty simple with the Terminators hopping around all over the place. And he's still trying to take over my top objective. So these Terminators got picked up and dropped back down. These guys finally got out of the building over here. And these guys have the advance and charge on their blade captain, which is super quick. So he spends 1 CP to make the center objective sticky, which is really good for Custodes, especially making it sticky and then just running away from it. So he's trying to either go and kill my strikes, which I spent 1 CP to pick him up and get him out of dodge, or go after the paladins. So he's got 2 choices over here. The Trajan comes down on this bottom half to try and get over kill the basically big knight over here. Puts a bunch of shots into my jump infantry down here, which kills 3 of them. Luckily, I didn't roll a lot of 2s, or a lot of 1s came from that shooting. And the Drago squad over here picked up the sisters on his turn. So he's still trying to get this going over here. So let's say my turn, he gets defend stronghold. or I get defend stronghold and no prisoners. I think he tried to make all the charges, so he failed to charge, failed to charge, failed to charge, and failed to charge. So he failed 4 charges, and then we had to just walk away from the table because it was pretty brutal not getting that top objective again just with 4 fucking failed charges. But it is what it is. It's a dice game. So we got defend stronghold, which we have is only 3 points if you defend it, but it's in the opponent's turn. So you have to make sure that you have literally nothing that he can get to the stronghold, or you have enough people on your stronghold. That way, it's super strong and they can't get to it. So no prisoners as well. It's really hard to go against no prisoners, especially with how tanky his army is. But we're trying to basically get these 2 guys over here dead. So that way we can get some points. The knight just ran as far fucking away as he possibly could. 12 inches over here. These guys hopped over, shot, and then hopped back over 6 inches to get on the other side of the dread. These guys strikes came down over here to try and finish off the exaction squad on the point. The Custodes came down to try and kill the exaction squad. Drago got picked up and brought down here to kill the exaction squad, and my exaction squad came in his back zone to get his exaction squad. So basically we're just starting now on turn 3 to really spread out, focus on secondaries, and just kill the rest of the small units. That's really the goal to go against Custodes, is spread out, make him keep chasing you, and force him to make 9-inch charges. If they can't make 9-inch charges, you're basically going to win the game. We got our big ass brick of purifiers and paladins coming down to try and line everything up on these guys right here. So we're basically putting everything into these 2 fucking terminators and try and get them dead. So he gets behind enemy lines and tempting target. So he kept tempting target again because he's basically working his way up to that top zone, and behind enemy lines he's got to get down to my backfield. So these guys, this is my objective. So he actually rolls, I believe, a 5 to get on my home field objective. I think he gets free rerolls for advancing. So when he advanced, he rolled like a 3, re-rolled it, rolled it into a 5, stole my backfield objective, which was sticky, and got my behind enemy lines on this unit. So these custodial shield guys are super tanky. These guys are just running around stealing objectives. Trajan is finally getting onto this objective. He still has the center, which is sticky, and the knight is over here. So this is what the end of the turn is. He basically has my objective, which he was trying to steal for the past 3 turns. He's got my home field objective. His exaction squad walked in over here to try and block me out a little bit, and there's nothing left on his home field objective back here because we killed the exaction squad. So this is what the board state looks like before my turn. So we have to decide what the hell we're picking up, what we're trying to focus on. Now in this situation, if you guys are Grey Knights, what would you do? Would you keep everybody down, move up, and just try and charge and kill these guys? Pick everybody up, kind of give them this objective, and just, you know, try and shoot them from afar? Abandon your home field objective, or move all you guys on his objective and just kind of, you know, chill? In this situation, Trajan, I believe, charged the knight. Yeah, so Trajan charged the knight, finished off the knight. My turn, this is what we ended up with. So we have extend battle lines. At the end of your turn, if you control 1 or more objective markers in your own deployment zone, also control 1 in no man's land. So we have to go back and steal our home field objective and control 1 in no man's land. And we also have engaged on all fronts, which is great for Grey Knights. So this is what it was, right? We have strikes, Drago, pallies, purifiers, 2 interceptors with a knight, and the Custodes. We pick up the Custodes, we pick up the strikes, we pick up Drago, and we pick up the paladins. And let's see what happens. So we got the Drago on the backfield objective worth 15 obsec. So we spend 1 CP, get them within 3 inches. They steal the backfield objective. Custodes comes down right in the center to get rid of that sticky objective in the center, and that means we own 1 in the center and 1 in our home objective. The paladins, I guess, stayed exactly where they were put. They just moved up to get line of sight on these guys, and the purifiers moved up to get line of sight on these guys, and he killed the first 2 guys on the objective, so now he doesn't have that objective anymore as well. Then our strikes got picked up and then brought back down right on the home field objective to try and make it sticky, and our exaction squad ran up on the backfield objective to make it, you know, just harder to kill. The interceptor said, you know, fuck these guys. We just hopped right over them and stayed on this home field objective. So we got rid of this objective, this objective, this objective, and this objective, and now we stole his home field objective. So we go from him having 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives, and essentially his home field objective 5 objectives, and then holding 0 objectives. That is the whole mindfuck of Grey Knights. That's the whole point of 10th edition playing Grey Knights, is just to keep stealing objectives from your opponent and just be everywhere all at once. We have engage, and we have the other secondary, which is holding our own and holding the one of the secondary or primary fucking things in no man's land. So coming up to the last turn, he gets capture enemy outpost, which is pretty easy for him because he's right next to it, and then aerial denial. So at the end of your turn, if one or more enemy units are wholly within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield and there are no enemy units within 6 inches of the battlefield, that one's kind of hard for him to get now because there's not a lot of units left, but he still has a Terminator squad. So I picked up Mist, Drago's unit, when he moved up to get more units on the backfield to get 8 points, which is great. And then I realized that I can't come within 3 because it has to be my turn. So then I picked him back up and I put him back 9 inches away. So I was 9 inches away from this unit, and I was 9 inches away from Trajan unit at the bottom. So you can't Mist and then rapid ingress within 3 inches. You can rapid ingress, which is what we did. So we basically picked up our guys, spent another CP to rapid ingress at the end of his movement phase, outside charge ranges of all of his guys, or at least he needs a 10 to 11 inch charge. The assassin basically dies. She did her job. She's kind of just sitting there chilling. I think we spent 1 CP, or we vected his rerolls, because if anybody's going to catch us, it's people that can get rerolls or spend a CP for the reroll to try and make that 9 inch charge reroll. So having him spend 2 CP to do that, that's the whole goal with Vect. So he got the center, I believe, by shooting and just kind of killing the assassin and being wholly within 6 inches of the center. And then my turn, I got tempting target, which he had to pick one of the objectives, and behind enemy lines. So behind enemy lines was pretty easy for us because we already had 2 units back there, but he picked probably the one that Trajan was on. So there's almost no way I was going to get tempting target because I'm not going anywhere near Trajan for the rest of the game. Termies moved up. All the paladins, see how they are at the top of this wall with plunging fire. We should have remembered we had plunging fire. That was my mistake. So he's got 4 guys left in the center. We have the purifiers moving up. We have Drago and his squad moving up. So this squad should be dead. This is me trying to tell you guys that we have AP2 with plunging fire instead of AP1 with plunging fire. So I gave him a lot of 2-up saves with his guys down here instead of 3-up saves at damage 2. So I definitely should have killed this 3-man unit down here instead of leaving them on 3 before the charge. So that was my mistake. I just totally forgot that I had plunging fire, even though they're totally fucking up top with plunging fire. So try and use this to your advantage. If you don't have a store that has plunging fire, try and talk them into getting plunging fire, because it is a rule that should be put into the game for everybody to use. So then we got, this is what was left. He had 1 guy fucking live, and a bunch of my Terminators died. All right, and we left, sorry, I got 2 glasses of wine and a old-fashioned. All right. So we finished off with 1 guy left with 1 wound because we forgot that they had plunging fire AP2. This squad would be dead. Then Drago and his squad would be controlling the center with points being added because we didn't get killing people on objectives, stuff like that. So he got, on his final turn, extend battle lines, which at the end of the turn, we control 1 or more objectives in your own deployment zone, also control 1 or more objectives in no man's land, so he wasn't getting that one. And assassination. So Drago is in the center, so he has to kill Drago to try and get assassination, which he does because these guys fucking run up and charge these guys. So you can't miss when you're in combat. So if I were to kill that 1 guy, then Drago would have been able to teleport away, and then he wouldn't have been able to get assassination. So since these guys can advance and charge, they were right against the building. I was only fucking like 7-8 inches away. So you advance up, I can't miss the way, and then you charge and just kill my character. So there's no way that 3 Terminators and Drago are going to live onto this squad. So that was just bad on my part for getting the AP2 plunging or whatever. So finally, this is the end of the game.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we'll talk about the points. So final game, this is basically the end board state. We got the guys in the center, killing Drago and his squad. He fucking lids because we forgot plunging fire. So it would have been AP2, AP1, so he would have had 3 up saves. Trajan kind of did his job. Still got the purifiers, and we got, I guess, strikes chilling down there because I thought it was turn 4. And then those guys are back there because I thought it was turn 4. So, Jack, what was the final score?
89 you, 77 me.
So 89 Grey Knights, 77 Custodes. Crazy comeback, turn 4. Yeah, you got 8-8-5. Like, insane. So what do you think? What do you like about Custodes?
Number one, if you saw the last battle report, I was playing axes.
Yes.
Spears are infinitely better.
Yes.
Whereas last game I kept bouncing off of units. This time, whenever I actually was able to make a charge and assault something, I killed it with a lot of damage.
And you vected the -1 AP.
Correct.
So I had to spend 2 fucking CP to do that. And against Spears, I kind of need it. So,
-1 AP.
yes. So like Spears, I need to do that.
Yes.
So I had to be very cautious with my CP this game. And then the Knight, I guess the question about the Knight, what do you think about the Knight for Grey Knights?
I think the Knight, it doesn't work. It's everything else is jumping around, it's just sitting there. I don't think it provides enough of anything. And once I was killing with bolters.
Yeah.
I think I had it down to half damage.
You charged it when it was over here and killed it, but if he was a Grey Knight, I would have just picked him up at the end of your turn, and then there's no charge over here.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we used the charge to move those guys further, because otherwise they were too slow.
Yeah.
I think you said you would take another strike squad or something. The strike squad for me is a pain in the ass because I just can't catch them.
They're still alive. They're under there.
Yeah, the squad that was over here, turn 1, I charged them.
The purifiers. Still there.
Still there.
But you failed how many charges that turn?
4 charges, even with a reroll. I had 2 big bricks coming in, and multiple squads terminators all failed charges. Like I said, when things hit, it worked out really well. And as Derek mentioned, the end of the game was a lot different than the beginning, because once all my soft targets and small units were gone, Derek couldn't score any points.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing with that is you have to be careful with how many you kill per turn, because the one turn where there was an exaction squad here, I had to really kill them to get the points. If I kill both exaction squads in a turn, I lose out next turn by killing an easy target. Yeah, so just really planning ahead for that. I think the Nova list, because this is my honestly last game before Nova, so I appreciate you, Jack, is going to be probably a Grandmaster with the Paladins. Get rid of the Knight, add a Strike Squad, and keep everything else the same. I think Drago, honestly, was the best addition I added so far. I faced him with demons with Mike, and he does anti-demon 2+. So if he spends 2 CP, he crits on a 2+, and it's 3 mortal wounds every crit.
This is my Nova list.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I like it. And rapid ingressing either the super fast charge unit or Trajan
with friends.
Yeah, depending on who you're facing, is definitely gonna be good. So, anything you would change about the list after Nova?
After Nova, I'm going to make some changes. I have an idea for a pure guard list, which obviously is the popular build right now.
Nice.
But I'm going to do it with 3 blade champions.
Fuck. Holy shit. Cool. All right, well, Jack, appreciate the game.
Thanks, brother.
Okay, so this was the final points. We just went over it, but 89 Grey Knights, 77 Jack. Now, Jack went 3-0 the first day at Nova, so he actually did pretty well with his list and got into the top bracket, and then basically just faced Eldar. So it was really tough, especially when you get into that top bracket. So he really liked his list. It was definitely a good change, and he did really well at Nova, so he actually was the top cuddle buddy on our team to make it to the top bracket. So congrats, Jack. For us, we had 16-16 4-4 for primary, so we had 48 out of 50, and then we had 7 in the first turn, 5-0 4-0. We spent a CP to get 1 extra, 5-5, and then 0-5. So we had 31 out of 40 for secondary, so we had a total of 89. Then for Jack, we beat him by about 8. Was about 10, 12. So we beat about 12 primary because we had 16s. We kept him to 4 and 8, and then he got a 16 on turn 5. and then we kept them to 0 on turn 1, 3 on turn 2, 10, 13, that was a really big turn for him, and then 5 and 0. So total we had 31, so we tied on secondaries. The biggest thing was primaries with this list, especially that one turn where we came down and just stole all 5 primary points from him. But it was a great game. So again, Jack is one of the best dudes to play against. He's getting so much better every single game, which is cool. So he's actually running a really good army, and he's running competitive lists, and you put 2 and 2 together, it just makes for super good content. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the game. Let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like. Again, these battle reports are made for you guys to learn what we did, what we could have done better, you know, stuff like that, and really the tactics of how you see me play versus pictures and my opponent, and then what they could have done better, what we could have done better, so that way you guys can do that better on the tabletop. So it's the whole point of this channel. If you guys want to support the channel, head over to the Patreon. $1 a month, you get to see these videos up ahead of time, and then $5 a month if you want to support us a little bit more. If you guys see me at GTs, you get to come up to me, and we give you limited edition dirtbag dice. If you guys are interested in the merch, head over to the merch. Competitive, if you want to get into competitive play, it's $10 a month. You get to message me. We go over lists, ideas, tactics, all that stuff. And $25 a month, you actually get to see these lists play that you want to see specifically, or you want me to face a specific army, kind of see how we play it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon.